rights. What do we say in the words of Stevie? Welcome. Welcome. I love it when all three cats come in the house and then I just go, welcome. And then they stare at me like I'm an asshole. Welcome to episode Fire. Well, first I'm just going to show this out of the gate. The new baby cat t-shirt, because it's a Madigans Pubcast. It's a baseball shirt. Mm-hmm. They're online right now. I love it. It's baby cat with a Biggie Smalls crown.
It's fun. She looks asleep.
She actually laid on a whole pile of them, so you might get one with cat hair on it. I'm trying to just give those away to my friends. I'm trying to make sure they don't go in the box. It goes to the merchandise children. But anyway, if you want a baby cat t-shirt, baby cat's up here somewhere. Baby cat, there's your shirt. So I had to skip the week because my dad did pass away. It was very sad. I'm not going to get into it too much because I don't want to start crying because that's not what this podcast is for. But I did make it home to be with him. Good. And me and my sister spent the night with him. And at some point she's like, Kathleen, he's not breathing. I go, you've been saying that since last May. Shut up and go back to bed. Well, we're not in bed. She's in a cot. I'm in a chair. I'd finally fallen asleep. But anyway, he fought very hard. You can't get past a fourth stroke.
No.
Yeah, it's brutal. I mean, and then they expect these old people to do this when they're old. Like he was 83. Like there's just, you're tired. Christ, I'm tired now. Yeah. Like I can't imagine going, okay, here's what you're going to go through. It's been a very long year. But cheers to Jackalope. And I'll tell you his two pieces of advice in a minute. But first I want to read this because I haven't laughed this hard in a church probably since I was 10.
Interesting.
So I don't know what happens at, I think most of the funerals I've been to are Catholic. I don't know that I've been to other ones. I'm not sure I've been to one that wasn't.
No?
Well, Jewish. I've been to Jewish version. Lewis's dad. And then I just got to say, Lou's not very good at funerals.
Really?
No.
Shocking.
We're just sitting there by the gravesite, and I have to hit him and go, say something. And he was like, what about? I think he thought, because the funeral people came to the gravesite, I think he thought they were going to do all that. Uh-huh. But I also don't know. I'm not Jewish. I don't know what you guys do at a gravesite. I don't know what we do, but I don't know. But also, clearly, no one was going to do nothing. And I'm like, do you want me to MC this, Lou? You want me to get up and host this show? Right. Get up. And then I said, get up, say something, and tell people they can say something if you. So, anyway, aside from Jewish, that Lou's version of Jewish, which isn't very...
Which is Lewish.
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 It's Lewish. It's not very, traditional, probably. I think Lou probably missed some of the rules. Probably. I'm just saying. But I always tell Lewis, there's people on Twitter that say Jewish people have space lasers. I'm like, you didn't attend that meeting either, Lou. Right. You're my best friend. You're supposed to be, and if you're Jewish, you're supposed to work it for us. Let's work this out. What do you mean there was a space laser meeting and you didn't get one? What do you mean Hollywood's controlled by Jewish people? That's what everybody's saying on Twitter.
Yeah.
You're Jewish, Lou. Where's that? Come on, get on it. He always laughs. He's like, yeah, I don't. Anyway, so when you go into a Catholic church for the funeral, there's little mass cards that they're handed out or they're just sitting there, and it's just a little thing. I collect them of my relatives, which shocked my brother, and I take them. Anybody who like gambling, I take them with me in my wallet, and then sometimes I put them on, depending if I'm drinking. I don't want to leave them behind. I bring them out to help me win money.
Right. Does it work?
Yeah. It works, totally works. Mm-hmm. At least I think so. Because Lewis saw one, he goes, Kathleen, what's that on your machine? I'm like, it's a mass card of my grandma. He's like, Jesus Christ. I go, exactly. That's who we're counting on here, Lou. Jesus Christ, or the patron saint of gambling. See if there is one. Google it. See if there's a patron saint of gambling. Will you Google it? Yeah.
I thought you said that to Lou.
No. There probably is one. There's 1,000 patron saints.
Oh. Saint Cayetano.
Saint Cayetano?
Cayetano. C-A-Y-E-T. Cayetano.
Cayetano.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Patron saint of gamblers.
He's the patron saint of gamblers.
He was born to
well-to-do parents. Where?
In Italy.
Oh, I thought you said in L.A. I'm like, what? Why do we have a saint from L.A.? Oh, he was born in Italy. Why is he the saint of gamblers? What's his reason? What's the reason?
He studied law and worked as a diplomat for Pope Julius II.
Oh, he was a lawyer for Pope Julius. Maybe he was a side gambler.
Yeah.
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 Well,
We'll put in the show notes.
Well, I'm going to have to get his card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So anyway, the mass card, it has some religious scene usually on the front. And in the back it says, in loving memory of John Madigan. And that's his birthday. And then it says, eternal God, you made the union of man and woman a sign of the bond between Christ and the church. Grant mercy and peace to Irene Garcia, who was untied in love with her husband. We're all like, what? Who's Irene Garcia? May the care and devotion of her life on earth find lasting rewards in heaven. Well, and then Patrick goes, they spelled united wrong. I go, no, it's untied, Pat. She's dead. The card is saying she is already deceased him. And then it says, look kindly on her family. Never met those people either. As they now turn to your compassion and love, strengthen their faith and lighten their loss. We ask Sister Christ our Lord, amen. Misprint. We got to go back to the printer. But there were only so many of these till they caught the mistake. And then the people came out like little squirrels. They grabbed the bad ones. But now these are like Pokemon cards. They're like the collector ones where you're like, Patrick called the other day. He goes, I got number 5. And I'm like, how did you get it? He said, my assistant, Anna, grabbed one on the way in and didn't even read it and didn't notice. And then he was telling, and she's like, oh, well, let me see if I got one of the misprint. So Jackalope leaves on a laugh. Yeah. He really got me. I'm like, Irene Garcia. Huh. That we were all joking. Hey, Mom, were there any days where he was just gone for a while and didn't really have a good explanation? Because he might have been with his other wife, Irene, before she passed away. And maybe we should meet her family. Let's go on Facebook and get that going. Anybody know Irene Garcia? Clearly. Oh, my God. But we gave him a great party. There was like 250, 300 people that made the drive, which was very, very nice. And open bar. And at one point, at one point, Patrick's like, I just checked on the bar. I go, you let it roll, Pat. Let it roll. We're not getting cheap now. Nope. Let everybody stay as long as they want. And it was at a golf course above his favorite course where he played men's league. So that was very, nice. Yeah, we're all very, very tired. It's been a very long year. Jackalope ran the run, and we are all beat to shit. Yeah, everybody. It's very hard to get reoriented. I can't even say that word. With your life when that was part of it. Like every day, where's Dad? Where's Dad? Did Dad fall? Did Dad fall? Did the fire department come? He fell so many times he had a favorite fireman. He's like, I like that redheaded guy with the beard. He gets me right up. I'm like, oh my God. Wow. You guys are calling too much. Well, that's, we did put in our tax money. Okay. All right. Yeah. The fire department probably spends half of its life picking up old people and installing car seats. I feel sorry. Right. I don't know if they're taught that when they're going to be fire people. Hey, FYI. Yeah, so Jackalope's advice, as we know, never talk to the police. No. Don't, even if you're innocent. This is free advice. Every time I watch Law & Order or I watch the ID channel, I just scream at the television, stop talking to them! Stop talking to them! I know, you didn't know it. Most people don't know it. Most people don't have a dad that's running around the house saying it. Well, the goddamn people don't understand. You don't have to talk to these guys. Because he was always a defense attorney, or on the side of the little guy, because then he fought insurance companies. That's why he hates insurance. You're not allowed to bring that up. I wouldn't, because it would set him off. He did work with a cop, which is totally boring. But it was for people that got hurt on the job. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I do not recall, and I need an attorney, is what you will say. You do not have to go to the police station. No. That's another one.
I didn't know that either.
Nope. If the police say, we'd like you to come down and answer some questions, this is even if you're innocent. Totally innocent, unless you think you can really help with the investigation, and you want to, if you have a burning desire to do so. But if you're on the fence, you don't have to go. They have to get a warrant for you to come down. Right. You do not have to go. And then his second piece of advice, which some of the nieces and nephews are like, what? He would always say, if you're broke, go buy a Cadillac, change your own luck. And the kids were like, yeah, but how can you buy a car if you don't have any money? It doesn't make sense. I go, well, he wasn't being literal, but kind of, because you can buy it on what's called credit. Yeah, and you can get any car you want if your credit is good enough. You don't have to have any money. And the kids were like, whoa, 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 whoa. I said his point was, if you're sad, go do something fun. And make yourself happy because nobody else is going to make you happy. So it's your job. As always, that's all my dad would care about. Are we working? Who's working? Are you working? Are you making money? He was telling you to work more, but it works. You know, if you're having a sad, if you're not afraid to take the credit.
Yeah.
And he was always just sure he'd make it back. So that's his advice.
The termites are asking for the attorney shirts. We're going to restock.
I'm going to restock the attorney shirts in honor of Jackalope.
Yep.
I don't like to usually restock after we sold a bunch, but I will because I think that was a good one, and I didn't get one.
Oh, shit.
Right. Oh, shit is right. Yeah, my mom didn't get one. I forgot the family. I forgot to loot the vault before I gave it to the children.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that.
Yeah, I will fix it. And I got everybody's messages. Somebody bought them a bunch of masses. I'll have to show that one next time. There's so much to go through. I can't do it all. And too much.
McDonald's cards.
Yeah, somebody got him the McDonald's cards for his shakes. See, that's gonna make me cry.
It's okay. Hey.
I'll use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do love them.
Good for Dolly.
Probably not as much as he did, but
No.
I'll spend
Do
it.
you know how much lard's in those? A lot.
Lard?
Lard. Keeps it from melting.
Oh yeah, it's just milk and fat. But I think that's what kept him going an extra 5 weeks. I would still have my dad make an ad for McDonald's.
Yeah.
And say, look, they said I was going to be dead in 7 days. Boom, motherfuckers. 47.
Get over here.
40. He got 40 at the time Moses was lost in the desert. He got that much time extra due to McDonald's shake.
Yeah.
So, and if you ever go to Lake of the Ozarks, Randy's frozen custard. There's that. We had a lot of turtles, which is hot fudge, chocolate,
Extra
hot,
caramel.
yeah, extra caramel, blah, blah, blah.
No nuts, goddammit.
No nuts. Well, he couldn't have nuts. Christ, talk about killing him. I would have been that would have put him over the edge. Try to swallow some crunchy nuts, Dad.
Have a walnut.
Oh my God. So I got everybody's stuff. Thank you. It's been great reading the comments. And then to make I had to go work after that, but I thought my dad would have been proud because he would have said, "You go back to work. What do? Sit around and cry for Christ?" Like he didn't like.
No.
Even a couple of my siblings along the way have gotten divorced, and he allotted them. He put a time calendar on the refrigerator and said they were allowed to be sad that long.
Oh, boy.
I said, what happens if they go over? Do you like beat them with a fishing pole? What happens? And he said, no, it's just a conscious effort. You can't wallow because if you fall into the wallowing, sometimes you can't get out. So there was a limit on depression.
Depression. Good. Let's clamp down on that.
Very old school. Yeah. Fuck medication. We're not doing that. We're going to have a schedule on the refrigerator, and you're going to go by that schedule. So I did go to work. I went to, let's talk about backwards for a minute, Detroit, because I had to go to work then when he was that sick, but because those were makeup shows. I'm like, I can't not go. I'll only be gone for 24 hours.
He died the next day, didn't
And he did not. He died the next night. Yeah. I made it home in plenty of time. But, and I had just been there, and I left to go to Detroit, which was actually really refreshing because all the children, and they're all young, that work at the Royal Oak Music Theater, they're so fun. They're so good at what they do. And the crowds there for me have always been great. I think Detroit reminds me of St. Louis. Like they had cars, we had beer. I've never seen anybody work as hard as the people in Detroit. Every single person, when I was coming up through the clubs, the servers, the bartenders, they all had 3 jobs, all of them. And they thought nothing of it. And they just work and work and work. That's why I was so happy to see the draft in Detroit. And then boom, there's 775,000 people downtown. That's a miracle compared to 20 years ago. I mean, it's an actual miracle. Because 25 years ago, they used to sell a magnet in the airport that said, Detroit, the Renaissance city. And I used to take it on stage. And I'm like, I'm not sure you're there yet, guys. Like, but neither is St. Louis. Like, I get it. But I was making, but now it kind of is. They grew into their slogan. So that's another thing. Say it and it will become true.
Do that. Yep.
They sure as shit did it. But those shows were great. And then it was back to the Ozarks. But it was a nice little reprieve. And then I had to go to L.A.
You gotta talk about the pizza.
They have Detroit-style pizza. Now, people on the East Coast will always be offended. So will Chicago people. And so will St. Louis people who prefer Emo's, which is very different than any other pizza. My friend Brian hates it. He's like, you just had to grow up with this shit, Maddie. Nobody else likes it. I'm like, yeah, other people do, Brian. It's just you because you have the palate of a 4-year-old. It's thin, but the Detroit style is thick, squares, and it's delicious. So
Thick corner.
it's got a very thick corner. I like the crust. It's a little extra thick, but it's delicious. Yeah. So if you're ever in Detroit, get their pizza, try it. That's my pitch on that. Then I had to go to LA. But before I even talk about the shows, because it's what am I drinking? This is they call me Roberto, this beer. But this is how great Delta is. I know I always brag about Delta.
People.
It's the employees, mostly. Yeah, I mean, their planes probably could fall apart in the air too. I don't know who's making what, but I mean, I don't know about the actual airplane. Although I did get one of the new ones going out to LA, and worth the wait. Yeah. Worth the wait. Oh, so fancy. But I was like, you know what, Dad? We've all had a rough year. I'm talking to him. He's dead now. Going, could you just make things easy? Like, I don't need any special perks. Just I can't handle a canceled flight right now. I can't handle, we don't have any rental cars. Can't do it. Well, I got on the flight leaving LA to come back to Nashville, and there's a flight attendant. I won't say, I don't know if I should say her name. You can. Okay, well, her name's Laura, but there's a lot of Lauras. So if somebody's gonna get in trouble, you have to call all the Lauras in. But she shouldn't get in trouble because it was so nice. I know her. And she read the manifest and saw that I was going to be on the flight and was there. I got on the plane. It's 6 a.m. I slept 2 hours. That was it after the show, and then go to the airport, blah, 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 return a rental car, blah. And she was like, Kathleen. And I was like, oh, my God. She's like, I already put a screwdriver on your seat. I'm like, thank you. Yay. And then she said, I'm so sorry to hear about your dad. And then she left me a note and then put, there was a bag with Cheez-Its and my Haribo Bears.
Nice.
Yeah, which pair well with screwdrivers.
And the beer.
And this beer, which is her friend's, it's called the Mason Jar Brewing Company, and it's her. I guess she knows these people who make it, which is pretty awesome.
She knows Roberto.
Well, it's Roberto, and I can't read it; it's too tiny. But anyway, there you go, Delta. She's all excited to. When do you ever get on a flight? Well, actually, I get on a lot of flights where they're excited to see me if they're based out of Nashville because they just see me every week.
Yeah.
And then they're used to me.
Where are you going?
And where's your show this weekend? I'm like, you don't want to know. No, but it was actually fun. I don't love Los Angeles. I've said that a million times. I loved my 10 years in Hermosa Beach, but I was in my 20s. So you love everything. And a bunch of comedians lived at the beach, and we all went to the Comedy Magic Club and ate for free, which was lovely. Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Richard. Good food. What
podcast did you do?
Oh, I did a bunch of podcasts. I did Leanne Kreischer. That's Bert Kreischer's wife. It's called The Wife of the Party. She's super fun. Pete Holmes, which was probably one of my favorite things I've done all in ever of a podcast. He's so smart and he's so fun. And then I did one called Comedy Bang Bang. I guess people know it. I didn't know the people. It was fine. It's fun. But it's just more fun if you... Oh, and Greg Fitzsimmons. His is called Fitz Dog something, I think. As they come out, I'll tell you when they come out if you care to listen. He's my old friend. Yeah. So it's just more fun when it's an old friend versus there's just a bunch of people I don't know.
There's some people who will interview you.
Well, there was some improv at the end, and I'm not particularly good at that.
You need alcohol for that.
Yeah. Everybody else had a beer.
Yeah.
There was none at Comedy Bang Bang.
No.
But I also didn't ask. But... It was early in the morning. I thought I would have looked like an alcoholic, so I didn't do that. And then the Grove in Anaheim was so fun. And the opener this past weekend, if you were in the Cali shows, was Andy Hendrickson. A lot of people really liked him. He's got 2 jokes that I wish I would have thought of. I wanted to steal them. I will not. I'm not a thief, but so funny. That people were asking online on social media. So who was that? Thousand Oaks. I did that. That's outside of LA. Well, so is Anaheim. But God, they're about the both same distance.
You were talking about mouse ears in Anaheim.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of Disney fans out there.
And what about Dolly?
there's a lot of adults with, to each his own. I do know people that are into that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it as a child. I mean, I'm sure not going to come around now. No. We all went. My dad piled us all in the station wagon, but he drove down to Florida and explained to us for at least an hour how Walt Disney was an anti-Semite, and then I had to learn what that was, and that he was really siding with Hitler, and we shouldn't be giving him money. But he has captured, all the children in America, so we have to go. Because my youngest sister was like 5, and she was going to have a fucking meltdown if we didn't. Whose castle is it? Snow White's or Cinderella's? Cinderella's castle. Then we got in there. This is way back, so I don't know if it's the same. And it was a 45-minute wait. So there are just 5-year-olds losing it. And I thought, you know what? How about you get 5 Cinderellas, jackasses? We don't need just one in the restaurant that we can't get in, and the kid knows it's in there. Oh my God, Cinderella's in there. That she's unraveling. I don't know. I don't even want to ride rides anymore. But if I did want to ride rides, I would just go to like a Six Flags.
Yeah.
But I was never a cartoon person, so I'm not the person to speak into about all this. Clearly, it's I can't believe it's open till midnight. We left my show, and I said to my friend Bob and Clark came. I talk about them all the time. What are these people walking around Anaheim for? He's like, well, they're Disney people. I'm like, how late is it open?
Right.
That's crazy. I would have thought at the latest 10.
Oh my God.
I know.
Midnight? Wow.
I said, is there alcohol in there? I haven't been in there since my nephew Pat was like, I don't even know, 12. And he said, yeah. I would just think there'd be fights and stuff by midnight.
Not over beer.
No, he said there's problems.
Really?
That's what Bobby said. That's what little Bobby said.
Yeah, fun though?
Yeah, and 2 of the assistants from the agency came out, Franny and Maggie. I love the children because they're in their 20s. They're so excited they got free parking. Like, it's so easy to make people in their 20s happy. And then there's free food and beer and stuff backstage. They're just happy because life hasn't jaded them yet. No. I just said, thanks for making the drive out here. Because they live in town, like in town somewhere. And they were like, the one's like, I was just excited because I've never been here. I thought, oh my God, I've been here. I don't even know. 197,000 times. And every time I make the drive out, I pick the wrong time and go, God damn it, I should have left at 10 a.m. There's no excuse. I'm just sitting there doing nothing. I should have got off my ass, blah, blah, blah. But yeah. And then I'm like, this is why 70-year-old men date 20-year-olds. It's just so easy to make them happy.
Right.
Here's a hamburger. Shut up. Is it free? Yep. I am a wizard. That hamburger's free. They're so smart. It's so fun. They were just a blast. So thanks to everybody. Those shows were sold out, which was great.
The potluck backstage.
The potluck Anaheim people, every time you work the Grove, it's in the same parking lot as the Angels Stadium. I guess the Angels are really bad this year. Really, really, really bad.
As bad as the Cardinals.
As bad as the Cardinals. Yeah, Fredbird should be turned around. My cord goes through there. Or I'm gonna put a black cover over Fredbird until the Cardinals can do better. They have to get over 500.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good luck. Thousand Oaks was fun. Yeah.
Thousand Oaks was great. It was sold out. And then here's where I'm going to be going. Then we're going to get to it.
You guys talk about Heidi.
Oh, well, my agent came.
Ellie.
Heidi and brought her daughter. And my agent never comes because I always say there's no need. They have to go to everything. And then there's all the comedians that are crazy and they have to go manage the bullshit. And I'm like, take a night off. I don't give a shit. I'll do my act 2 over the phone. Right. Do you want to hear my new jokes? Like my dad would always go, could you front load the new jokes so your mother and I could go gamble? And Bronson from the agency came too. He's super fun. But I always tell him, you don't have to come. I don't need hand holding. But yeah, she came anyway. Her daughter's adorable. Yeah. It was super fun. So anyway, here's where I'm going this summer. There's going to be a lot of makeup days because of Jackalope. Thanks to everybody who held on to tickets and all that. Detroit was great. Both of them were still sold out. I don't know what happened, but everybody made it back. So June 8th, West Hampton, New York. I love to be able to say I'll be summering in the Hamptons. Just for one night, but I'll be summering in the Hamptons. June 16th, Charlestown, West Virginia. June 29th, Portland, Maine. Can't wait, going early. July 19th and 20th, Borgata. Twice. I love that place. I love the Borgata. July 26th, San Antonio, Texas. Can't wait to go to Rosario's. July 27th, Austin, Texas, where I'll be at Matt's El Rancho having a margatini.
Delicious.
Yes. August 2nd, Marietta, Georgia. August 3rd, Cincinnati. August 10th, Niagara Falls. What? Yeah, that's great. The Canadian side, the red boat side. In case you're wondering, when you go into those falls, the blue boat is the American people side. Anyway, red boat, Canadian side. August 24th, Hampton Beach, not New Hampshire. That's what I was saying, new. Yeah. August 30th and 31st, the Venetian, Las Vegas. That's Labor Day weekend. I believe my mom and my mom is fine. By the way, everybody was asking how's your mom. She's doing very good. I think she was extremely tired from a year of dealing, longer, but
she's ready to gamble.
She's ready to gamble. She's signing up for the August 30 and 31st Venetian deal. And then just as an aside, these were, I think, from Detroit. I can't know.
Those were from
California. Anaheim. These Jeff and Megan created these Pubcast buttons. Ready? Update. Yeah. And then this one's a little harder to hear, but it's the holy shit I found it one. Those made me laugh really hard.
Nice.
All right, we're moving on. Big news. Big Queen King news.
Woo!
Big Queen news. We're going to start with...
The court has been active.
The court has been extremely active. The women are out running around. Tanya.
Mm-hmm. We brought her back.
And I may get to meet her.
Really?
Maybe.
Oh.
She's going to go down to Nudies. That's a
strip club?
That's a bar. It's not a strip club. It's a bar right on Broadway in Nashville, and every time my nephews see the billboard, it's just a giant, hilarious breakout. They can't believe some places get. This is when they were littler, called Nudies. But she is getting a pop-up bar on the second floor, and a friend of mine is her godchild and invited me to go. So I don't usually want to meet famous people, but I wanted to see the bar anyway, and she seems like she might be fun.
Yeah.
So I'll let you guys know how that works. And I think she should get her pop-up bar for more than a month. I mean, the fucking Jaws has 2 months. I mean, and I love Jaws, and I love a shark pop-up bar, but come on, why can't we? It's just one floor. It's for her tequila. She's in business with Costa Salvage or something. I don't know how to say it.
Salvage.
Salvage? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, it's her tequila.
I feel like everyone has a tequila, but hers is actually very good. I did taste it. It's thick. It's very, very thick. And then, so that's hopefully, I don't know, but even if I don't get to meet her, I'm going for sure because I want to see the bar. And then
Nudies. What a name.
down at Nudies. Yeah, I'm surprised Nudies has made it this far. I would think Nudies would have been replaced by now. No offense to Nudies, but, you know, the older ones keep going down, and then they put up, you know, it's so-and-so's and so-and-so's and so-and-so's.
It's next to Garth's new bar.
It is next to Garth's, which I need to revisit because apparently I was there when it wasn't really done. I don't know. I'll give them a. Well, I don't know. Me and my cousin Mike and Connie went in, and we went down on New Year's Eve day. We went day drinking, and like Mike's not. He's the least picky guy ever on earth. He's like, these beers are hot, aren't they? I go, yeah.
Oh.
Hot beer.
Oh.
I don't know.
Can't
It just didn't. They didn't. I will give it a second chance because I love Trisha.
Okay.
Yes. And it did look, I watched a bit of the show. There's a show about it, and I watched a bit of it. And it looks cooler than I remember. So I'm going to give it a chance number 2.
Oh, the Amazon show.
Yeah, there's an Amazon show about them building the bar.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see it. It's a lot of Garth, as one would expect.
I would expect that.
He is likable, though. I'll give him that. So Tay-Tay, there's been a lot going on.
Yes.
And Queen Stevie, right there. Taylor Swift features hidden Stevie Nicks poem on her new Tortured Poets Department album. The Tortured Poets Department. I listened to the album in the car.
B plus.
B plus.
Okay.
I get it.
The Post song's amazing.
The Post Malone song's good. A lot of them sound too similar. I know I'm going to get in trouble from the Tay-Tay people. Please withhold your comments.
God.
It doesn't mean I'm not impartial. I will say it out loud. There was a Stevie Nicks CD called Street Angel. I threw it out a moonroof. Sometimes you just don't nail it. It was like she didn't have a producer or something. It was just weird. Now, that doesn't mean I still don't love Stevie, and I might go see Stevie here in Nashville, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, now that I can make plans again and not worry about what am I going to do with this shit if I can't go. Anyway, Stevie penned the poem titled For Tea and Me in Austin, Texas. The poem is a special hidden treat for those who bought the physical copies of the inside of the casing of the album or the insert of the vinyl. The Fleetwood Mac singer details two ill-fated lovers in the poem that starts out, he was in love with her, or at least she thought so. She was broken-hearted. Maybe he was too. Neither of them knew. My Stevie's now, well, I was going to say my Stevie's now starting to sound like an alien. The poem continued, she was way too hot to handle. He was way too high to try. He couldn't even see her. He wouldn't open his eyes.
Oh. Oh.
See, this is why you don't read Stevie's stuff.
No.
You just listen.
No. And hum along.
She was writing about a failed... Oh, here's some more.
Okay.
Ready? She was on her way to the stars. He didn't say goodbye. She looked back from her future, and she shed a few tears. He looked into his past and actually felt fear. It continued. For both of them, the answers would never be ever clear. Don't ask questions. Do that later. She brings joy. He brings Shakespeare.
Oh.
That's Lindsay.
Right.
He's the intellectual one in the group.
He's the main guy.
It's almost a tragedy, she says. Don't endanger me. Don't endanger me. He really can't answer her. As again, I have no idea what any of that means, but if Stevie sings it, I'm down with it. Oh, it ends with, here's how it ends. She was just flying through the clouds. Where he saw her, she was just making her way to the stars when he lost her.
Huh.
Yep, that's why I'm never going to be a songwriter. What am I supposed to do with that?
I don't know.
Yep, that's just words to me. Anyway, if you get the physical copy of Tay Tay's thing, there you go. You can see the secret poem.
Excellent.
Yeah, excellent. And Tay Tay was out with Travis in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Yep, they're still together.
There's an
Still
over-under.
having fun.
Yep.
Is there an over-under?
Yep. It's secret.
It's a secret over-under. I don't know. King news.
Okay.
Jelly Roll. Who do I love?
Yay!
Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll.
After Music City native Jelly Roll announced his desire in 2022 to commit to nearly $500,000 to programs in aiding incarcerated and underserved youth in Nashville, the award-winning and chart-topping pop and rock star, his program is a reality. The facility is housed in the Davidson County Juvenile Detention Center. That's my county.
Nice.
Which, as Jelly Roll noted while performing at Nissan Stadium, is directly across from the Cumberland River and behind the juvenile court building next to the stadium's parking lot. He has opened a recording studio for the children.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for the incarcerated kids. The studio we put in juvenile will continue to be a work in progress. We want more resources, more equipment, and continuing programs to maximize what could be offered. The milestone of getting to have it officially open and have the support of the mayor and everyone involved is something I don't take for granted, and I'm going to keep it going. Yeah.
Great.
So
That's awesome.
good for him.
Yeah.
Doing something good. Local.
Yes.
Dolly always says, start local. Dolly, by the way, with the mouse ears on, there's a thing for country music, CMAfest. That's a June shindig that goes on here.
June shindig. Yep.
It's a big deal. But they have this thing called fanfare, which is kind of old school. It's a lot of radio stations and stuff. Dolly's going to be down there singing a song or two, but they don't really say what time, and that shit starts at 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, we're going.
I'm going to find out.
We're gonna take
I'm going to call some secret people and find out.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I can't sit there all day.
No. No.
So
Can't do that.
that's all for the Queen news. And Snoop's been laying low.
Snoop's high.
Yeah. He hasn't done anything. So update.
Great.
Who told you this was going to happen? Who told you? You heard it here on this this podcast. CNN's King Charles to end its run with no plan to King Charles. This is the show with Gayle King and Charles Barkley. It ended last week with no plans to extend the limited series. Right.
Right.
It was terrible. Everybody's sick of Gail. Sorry, Gail. But I'd be sick of me too if I'm on all goddamn morning, then she pops up here, then she's on Sirius Radio, then she's on at night. No. And you don't put him in an old studio. You don't make him dress up.
No.
You don't, no. The whole thing. You had Charles.
Right.
You fucked up.
Yep.
Sorry. Gail, stay in the morning. You've got 19 hours. I feel like those morning shows now, because they offered me, and I still want to do it, but it's Good Morning America, the third hour. But it goes beyond that. Like, I guess people leave it on all day. I don't know. Or there's nothing else to put on in the day. That always used to be the problem.
Right.
What do you put on in the day? Soap operas, game shows, talk shows. That's it. Or how about nothing? Just go back to the old blank screen where it's a test pattern. You won't lose money. Guarantee you that. It was getting 500,000 viewers for its debut, but it trailed its rivals in the time slot. It was announced as a limited run series to begin with, featuring, and Charles kept having to fly to New York to do this. No, Charles. Charles should have said no. I would have thought he would have said no. Looking at it, going, terrible idea. And then I think they got rid of that Poppy lady in the morning, CNN. Nothing is working out.
No.
Who's ever in charge should be fired. Period. End of story. Update! The Tropicana demolition has begun in Las Vegas.
Oh.
But here's the good news. The casino's stained glass ceiling, the thing I've been talking about for months,
Beautiful.
is being carefully dismantled.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Did anybody buy it?
And then Vital Vegas. I love Vital Vegas. It's a Twitter account. They're always funny, but never like snarky. And they said, we trust it will be kept in storage until the Trop site becomes a shopping mall sometime in the future. No, but at least they're saving it. Yeah.
So pretty.
Update! Oh, my God. This poor guy. Well, it's his own fault. Oklahoma judge orders Kansas City Chiefs superfan, the Chiefsaholic, to pay $10.8 million to bank teller. So if you missed a couple episodes a while back, the Chiefs had this superfan, and he would dress like a wolf.
Yeah.
And he became extremely famous. Well, it turns out Mr. Wolf was robbing banks to get to go to the game.
Yeah.
So he would rob the bank and then blah, blah, blah. Well, then the wolf had to go on the run because they caught on. Yep. He had assaulted Teller with a gun, so he owes her $10.8 million. And you know the irony is, the attorney says the teller may never collect the money. A Tulsa judge handed down the order last week against Xavier Michael Bubadar, 29 years old, who is known for attending Chiefs games dressed as a wolf in the NFL team's gear. Former bank teller Peyton Garcia alleged that he used a gun to assault her in the robbery of a Bixby, Oklahoma credit union in December of 2022.
Credit union. Whoa.
Yep. He ordered her to pay $3.6 million for injuries and loss of income and $7.2 million in punitive damage. Messages for the Wolf's attorney were not returned immediately. I'm sure they're not going to be returned at all. You just sit on that one. Yeah, so he's in a lot of trouble. I don't remember his sentencing is set for July 10th. He remains imprisoned until then.
Right.
The Chiefaholic.
The Chiefaholic. Wow.
Yes. Update! Here's for the Chiefsaholic. He got away with it for a while. He got to go to a lot of Chiefs games.
A lot of games. When they were good.
When they were good, yeah, recently. So that Klimt painting I told you about, one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, it's sold. I told you it was going to be auctioned. $32 million.
Whoa.
They thought it might go as high as 50. And my reasoning is here, if you really want this thing, which I would, and I get this, except I don't want it in my house because now I got to hire, what do you get? You get security guards? I mean, somebody knows I have it. I bought it.
Baby cat.
Baby cat won't do shit.
No.
None of them do.
Nope.
Nothing. There's a black cat that now comes every day and eats lunch, and they're like, hi, and they're kissing it and making out with it. I'm like, guys, I don't want to become the thing. And then there's a thing in Tennessee, it's like a lizard type thing called a skink. They look wet. They live in the earth. Well, Chapo gets them a lot. I don't know how he ferrets them out of the earth, but he does. And he'll eat the whole thing head to tail. He does it. Yep. It's a wonderful lunch. Then he usually throws it back up on the porch.
Great.
But, I mean, yesterday they had one, and the three of them couldn't deal with it. Chapo brought it up, and then it was like a game. Let's catch it again. And The thing went right back in the earth. I'm like, you guys suck. And you live outside half your lives, at least half. Not maybe baby cat. I don't expect much from her.
No.
But she does know a lot about sports. She loves soccer.
Specifically.
Yeah, she does. I think it's the ball. They were expecting 50 million. So if you had 32, somebody from Hong Kong, they weren't identified. Go look at the painting and put it in the schnotes. It's so colorful. It's beautiful. I would have paid more if I'd have had more. Update. Then we're almost done with updates. Mark Zuckerberg's net worth plummets. Boom. By more than 18 billion in Meta stock drop. When is he going to understand? First of all, I have an Android. Those of us that have Androids
Are doing that because of you.
we don't care about, most of us, the functions of the phone.
No.
No. I don't care that I'm green and I'm fucking up your threads. We all like that.
Right.
And I'm never an anti-person. It's just the phone I like. It's not my fault. Elizabeth Warren came out. Remember Elizabeth Warren who ran for president? She came out with a whole thing telling iPhone to quit making the Android people second-class citizens. Yeah. He did that. I didn't do that. He did that.
He did it.
Well, the Meta thing, I saw it on my phone the other day. It said, ask Meta anything.
Oh.
I don't have any questions.
Really?
No, I don't.
No.
And if I do, I'm asking the Google machine.
True.
I'm not asking,
Meta.
I don't even know what it is.
Meta?
Not really. I don't.
We'll talk about
What?
it offline.
What is it? I mean, I know it's his thing. Is it his power engine? Is that what we would call that? His engine train? Like in a car? Power engine.
Search engine.
Search engine. Search engine. That's what I said the first time, Your Honor. I said search engine.
Power engine.
CEOs on the company's earnings call sent its stock price to the steepest decline since October 2022. Nobody wants your dumb goggles. How many times do I have to say that? Nobody wants your
Nobody wants
I don't understand. I would never, ever, ever. Although I will say, at least Instagram, I feel runs like it used to run. Twitter, it's a mess. And I know what he calls it. I refuse to say it, but whatever.
Right.
I'm still calling it Twitter, and I'd like the bird back, but that's not going to happen. Elon doesn't care.
Yeah.
No, they took away my check mark a while ago. I'm not buying that back. I mean, if it's just going to turn into a shit show, let it do it. I don't care. The stock fell by $52 on Thursday. I'm telling you, Meta Reality Labs division, which houses the hardware and software for developing the metaverse. Nobody talks about the metaverse. Nobody's going in the metaverse. Nobody wants to play in your weird fake world. Not yet. You haven't made it better than this world.
Right.
You got to make it, I don't know. I mean, even the children that like the video games, I don't ever hear them talking about, I was in the metaverse.
No.
It's posted a cumulative losses of $45 billion.
Wow.
Billion since 2020.
That's crazy.
They're going to spend another $35 billion on capital expenditures this year, an increase from its prior forecast. I mean, okay, talk about sitting at a bad slot machine and just not getting it through your skull. The machine sucks, and moving to another slot machine. He's just going to keep dumping money in it.
Yep.
Well, we'll see. You'll be updated. And before I get to holy shit, we found it, which I have some good ones. What are we watching? Because sometimes I forget that segment. Well, we are watching Baby Reindeer.
It's so bad.
I am done. I finished it.
Ah!
You guys have to go watch this. It's about a bartender in England, and a lady comes into the bar, and she's kind of chubby and seems sort of awkward, and he feels sorry for her, so he gives her a free cup of tea or whatever she's drinking. And even though she says she's a very, very prominent lawyer, well, this lady ends up being a stalker. Coincidentally, he also wants to be a stand-up comedian. Well, a comedian, an improv guy, I would say, more. But as soon as they said that, I thought, oh, no, here we go.
Here we go.
I have never seen it portrayed so correctly.
Really?
Ever. And they do the Edinburgh Comedy Festival, and Lewis went there once with his friend John. I won't say his last name in case he wouldn't want me to tell the story, but you sign up for a month. It's not like the Montreal Festival or the Kilkenny Cat Laughs Festival where you just do a week of shows and bars. This is a commitment. and you have to have your own promoter. Everything you'll see in Baby Reindeer happened to Lewis and John.
Oh boy.
They didn't have any people. They didn't have a promoter. And if you don't have a good Scottish promoter or a British promoter, it's really not for us. And I get that. Like the only person that I can think of, I'm sure there's more, but the one that comes to mind that's always done well there is Greg Proops.
Yeah.
Because Greg is exceptionally smart, way smarter than the average comic, and also odd in a great way. I love him. But he's meant for that. Like my kind of comedy is not really meant for that. It's fringe stuff. It's out on the fringe. Well, anyway, they did that part really well. I mean, Lewis called crying at one point, and he would be comfortable with me saying that. And they took all these T-shirts. Well, none of us had any money back then. And he was going to sell shirts. Well, you don't have anybody at your show. I don't know who you're just going to go on the street and stuff. It was just, they had the worst time ever. And then, well, I won't even say, but John had a meltdown. There were meltdowns going on left and right. And I'm like, can't you quit?
Right.
And there's like a base pay, but it's minimal. It's like a per diem type deal. He's like, no, if you quit, you don't get the money you were promised. So they had to stay for a month. I know. It's good for the people over there, like the Brits and the Scottish. It's good for them. Or even the Irish do fine, I'm sure. Aussies, they do good. But Americans and Canadians, well, Mike Wilmot could do it because he's a Canadian who works in England half of his life. So he gets the thing. He gets it. But anyway, Baby Reindeer, this stalker lady... And then Lewis was like, I don't know who's crazier, him or her. I'm like, she looks and appears mentally ill.
Right.
The bartender guy is living in both worlds. He's sane enough to have his job. He's trying to be a comedian. He's older.
Yep.
But yet he's participating with the stalker. Every time he's finally going to wait till you see it. And it's the man in the movie is the man who wrote it. But then I'm going to have an article next week, and I'm going to read it. So if you don't watch Baby Reindeer, you won't understand it. I'll tell you to fast forward if you didn't have time to watch Baby Reindeer. But if you can,
Watch Baby Reindeer.
watch Baby Reindeer. And I have no vested interest at all. I don't know anybody in the movie. I got nothing except for the fact they portray the Edinburgh Festival. So, like, and this guy, though, I wouldn't call him a stand-up comic. I don't know what I would call him. I'd call him an improv guy. But, like, he's a prop guy, too. And I said to Lewis, see? People, my whole life I've defended Carrot Top.
Right.
And this is what it's like if you're not good, like Carrot Top. Like this. It was terrible. He's terrible when he first starts. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. He gets a little better.
Yeah.
You'll see. But the stalking thing, and then I have a real story about somebody else this lady stalked, and now she's saying she's being bullied. I mean, don't even get me started. Right. No, you should be known to everyone.
Right.
Because you shouldn't. I won't tell you what happens to her, but what happened to her is not what should have happened to her. They should have done something else, but they didn't.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what, and I'm watching the hockey playoffs. Go Preds.
P.S.
P.S. There's a lot of hockey games on if you're interested. And it was kind of nice because out west, the time zone, I don't know how people in the East Coast survive sports. I would have to call in sick to work every day and say, I'll be sick till 10:30.
Right.
I can't. I stayed up till 1 in the fucking morning. The hockey game last night and then in Central Time Zone went to midnight. I'm like, it's 1 a.m. on the East Coast. These people have to be at work at the same time we do. It's ridiculous. They should have some sort of
Pass.
say so or something. Yeah, it's not fair to them.
They're not watching the Canucks.
Well, real hockey fans are.
True.
Yeah. And I tried to finish Palm Royale. I'm trying. Because now I'm so fucking far into it. I'm like, I better. It just keeps getting dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber. And what a waste of Carol Burnett and Allison Janney. Is that her name? Allison Jennings? I don't know. Jenny.
She's falling in love
She's
with a whale
awesome.
now.
Yeah, I can't. Anyway. An animal that was expatriated. This is holy shit. They found it.
Again.
From,
Start again.
okay.
Do it.
Well, wait.
Yeah.
I'll do it with this one.
Oh, wonderful.
An animal that was no, not, I can't even say that word.
Okay.
Well, it was an animal that was no longer in Ohio for 200 years.
Okay.
Well, it's back.
In Ohio.
Just in Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. Every state gets something special every now and
We
then.
got to work on that word.
I can't. Ashtabula County, Ohio.
Excellent.
Yep. No idea. An animal that hasn't been seen in Ohio for nearly 200 years is back. The fisher, and it's not small.
It's a weasel.
It's a member of the weasel family. It's been spotted recently in that county. They said it was rooted out or completely destroyed 200 years ago. Clearly not. A retired veterinarian and owner of the Snowy Oak Tree Farm found the animal in his driveway. Yeah. He was stunned to see it. It had been hit by a car. Oh, I said, wow, this is a fisher right here in my driveway. Fortunately, she'd been hit on the road and before she was able to give birth. Just the fact that she was in the state and pregnant is a positive sign for the potential future of the species in Ohio. Since his discovery, others have been spotted on trail cams by the Ohio Division of Wildlife. It's kind of cute. I don't know if they cause problems, but weasels don't really cause problems. Kind of like a fox. They don't cause any shit.
I think so, no.
Oh, well, it is a predator who hunts small animals like mice and squirrels. Oh, well.
Cats.
It can pose a threat to small dogs, cats, chickens, and even some livestock. There's also a potential for conflict with livestock. Fishers tend to want to stay away from areas where people are, so we don't expect it'll be a big problem. Just make sure your livestock is closed up at night to be good. I don't see how this size of an animal can take down a cow. Meow. Baby cat disagrees.
Yeah.
She don't like that. Meow. Maybe she's seen one.
Maybe.
I don't know if they're in Tennessee or Missouri.
Yeah, why is she yelling at me?
I don't know why. She doesn't like when the podcast goes too long.
Oh, it's not long.
She doesn't like it.
She wants you to go back.
She wants attention. She wants me to come over there and do something. I don't know. Oh, well, she hasn't had a treat this morning. Watch that. Do you want a treat?
She's waiting for you.
She's waiting by the steps. Yeah, that's what she's waiting. Holy shit, they might have found it.
Might have found it. With an asterisk.
It's a might, but I think it is. Intriguing Banksy-like artwork found in Cambridgeshire as landowners look for answers. And it's two little children, and in typical Banksy style, they're throwing a gun in the air, like an automatic, what do you call it, an AR-17 or something, a rifle. And I think it's supposed to be Gaza, it's saying we've got children just fighting over, he always tries to make a little point there. A possible the artwork was discovered on a wall in Ely. Landowners Claire and Carl Reisbeck say they believe the intriguing work was linked to the escalating conflict. Oh, in Ukraine. Oh, I thought it was Gaza. It shows a silhouette of a boy and a girl apparently playing catch with a gun. Another one was found in Cambridge, Wolfston Way in February. The artist is known for his murals. They said they're now interested in learning more about the art piece. He had been in contact with pest control, Banksy's representatives. Oh, I didn't know he had reps, so you can call somebody to verify whether it was real. He didn't say it wasn't a Banksy. He just said they don't verify them. That's too bad because people are going to wreck them if you don't.
Right.
But maybe he doesn't care. He said he'd contact other artists in the area to find out whether they were behind the work, and no one claimed it. You'll never know, but it'd be quite cool if it was Banksy. Yeah, I wouldn't wreck it.
No.
It's kind of awesome anyway, whoever did it. I mean, I'm sure there's copycats now.
Probably.
He's Banksy, but you'd also have to be a good artist, and you'd have to do it under the cover of darkness. How are these people doing these things?
Cover of darkness.
He said he and his wife are trying to decide what to do with the painting. They've covered it in the meantime. They're worried about somebody doing graffiti over it. He said they asked a specialist to come and remove it so they can put it in their garden. Trying to decide what to do with it's the hard part. The couple have a lot of questions about the artwork. He said he hopes someone will come forward with the answers. Well, maybe somebody should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them know.
Right.
Or just go auction it off and say it is. Why not?
Right.
We're moving on to news.
Okay.
Yes. Do you want to drive the Planter-mobile?
Yes.
I think it'd be very hard to parallel park. It's fat. It's very fat in the front, very wide, very fat in the back. The Wiener-mobile would be easier to drive, but this is for the children.
That's funny.
Planters needs to fill a new position. The job might drive folks a bit nutty. Get it? Somebody's been waiting.
Forever.
Julia Gomez has been waiting. Oh, there's baby cat. There's no treats up here. There's nothing up here. The company is looking for 3 people to fill the position for a year.
Specifically.
June 24 to June 25. The lucky 3 will be affectionately known as the Peanutters. Not only will they escort Mr. Peanut across the country, they'll do so while driving. Oh, you get to ride with Mr. Peanut. You're escorting Mr. Peanut.
That's pretty cool.
It's a 26-foot long NUTmobile, and you'll be taking and going to planning events. We're thrilled to be taking applications for our third class of peanutters. From being grand marshals of parades and making appearances at community events and grand openings, our peanutters are fun-loving ambassadors of the iconic Planners brand, bringing smiles and joy. I would love to see it. I've never seen it. I've seen the Wienermobile. I just saw it last week in California. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's probably many of them, but I've seen it.
How many there are? Wienermobiles.
Google. They'll tell us. How many Wienermobiles are there?
I think it'll be a secret.
You think?
Uh-huh.
A secret?
Yeah. How many wiener dogs are there comes up?
It's a rolling public relation firm on wheels.
There's 6.
There's 6?
6 Wienermobiles.
I've seen them a lot in my life.
The driver is called a hot dogger.
A hot dogger, right.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what you need to meet this criteria. You have to have graduated with a bachelor's degree, preferably in communications, marketing, advertising, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I did that. A desire to travel? Yes. A valid driver's license? Yes, I have it. Strong organization and time management skills. I think that knocks me out, the last one. And then you have to have a proficiency in nut-related puns is a must. No, I hate puns. Now, you also can't be allergic to peanuts.
Oh, yeah.
That's a deathly illness for some people.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's 3 NUTmobiles.
if you apply, you need to be flexible. One day will be used as a travel day from location to location. Well, that's what I do every week.
Yep.
If the distance is not far, an event can be scheduled on this day. I don't like that. No, we don't schedule things on the travel days. No. The remainder of the 4 days will be used for a combination of scheduled events and administrative work. Oh, I'm not doing that. Or interviews. Yeah, I would do interviews. You'll be required to work 40 hours a week, 5 days. That's fine.
Okay.
Here's some other responsibilities. Representing Planners brand in the media with appearances with local TV and digital publications. Fine, I do. I'm already doing that. Exactly. So just sign me up. Mm-hmm. Entertain fans all over the country at local events. Already doing it. Yep. Engage with customers. Ensure everyone has a, quote, nutty time.
What does that mean?
And a positive experience with the NUTmobile. Volunteering for local communities. I don't have time to volunteer to when I've got to do all the rest of this stuff.
Right.
No.
You sound
No.
like a Gen Z.
As my dad would say, no. Right.
Yeah.
The Gen Zers aren't going to do all that, and neither are the Zoomers.
There are 3 NUTmobiles.
There's only 3 NUTmobiles?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Okay, this story, outrage from all my older friends. They're going to raise the price of stamps again.
Oh, no.
If you go watch my Madigan special, I don't know where it's at. It's on Amazon, I think. I don't know. After they do a run someplace and they get sold off to other, just Google it. I think it's on Amazon. I have jokes about the post office where I defend the post office because I still can't believe that I can walk into a building and hand a piece of paper. The stamps will now be 73 cents. I can hand a piece of paper to another adult and go for 73 cents. Will you take this to Alaska?
Yep.
And they go, sure, we'll have it there in 2 days. Holy shit. It's the most efficient thing we have in this country. Whether you think their mailing is still a thing or not, that's a different argument. But the women that work at my post office, and it's 90% women, and it's 90% black women, that thing runs like the military.
It's amazing.
And that's why people go, oh, the post office, they lose a lot of mail. Really? I wish they would lose mail. I haven't had fun with mail since I was 10 years old. No. Mail's fun till you're about 10 when you know there's birthday money in there or first communion money or something in an envelope. But after that, no, it's just tax shit. And I don't even understand sometimes why we're still but like I got all those condolence cards. It's nice to get a card.
Yeah.
And really, if you're mad at anybody, you should be mad at the card people. The cards are like $7,000. I know. It's ridiculous. You go to check out at CVS and with two cards and they're like, that'll be $28.74. What?
That one makes no sense.
Here's your coupons. And then every coupon says, you must use this in the next 35 minutes. Oh, fuck, I have to shop again? Damn. That's why I prefer Walgreens. I get my wall bucks, and then boom, they tell me how many I have. Well, I named them that. I don't know what they call them. I call them my wall bucks. And then they go, you have $28 in Walgreens. Yes, spend it. Could be dead tomorrow. You don't know. If the U.S. Postal Service gets it, which they always do. But I mean, I'm saying the post office is so efficient. Yes. It runs like clockwork. Like, I wish we could find a better thing, a different thing for them to do with their efficiency. Because I do think mail is eventually going to become outdated. Like now, mostly, honestly, it's junk mail or tax shit.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I don't understand why they can't email that, but whatever. I mean, you're trusting me to pay you online. Right. Why don't you trust to bill me online? It makes no sense. Anyway, it's going to go up for the 4th time in less than 2 years. They're proposing the hike of the first class stamp to 73 cents, or roughly 7% of all forms of postage. And then they go into the details. There's all kinds of mailing categories that normal people don't need to know anything about. No. Oh, and postcards to $1.65. Good luck finding. Oh, domestic postcards, 56 cents. Good luck finding one.
Right.
Because one of my friends has a special needs adult sister, and she likes mail. Yeah. And I said, oh, well, I'll do it. I'll send her a postcard from every city. I used to send my nephews when they were all little, didn't get mail. I would send them postcards from every city. Nobody makes them anymore.
No.
Nope. Not even in the airports. It's weird. Yeah, really nobody cares.
Now everybody wants stickers.
So that's what's going to happen. Prepare yourselves, people that are pissed about mail. Just prepare to get pissed off. Moving on.
Okay.
Buc-ee's. I love I'm drinking out of a Buc-ee's glass. But they brought the hammer down on a duck. And I don't know that they should have, but I think by law they probably had to. Okay. Because they are cooking food in Buc-ee's. Okay? A YouTuber with a duck named
Stop.
named Wrinkle. The duck's name is Wrinkle. Was not welcome at Buc-ee's anymore. Fake beavers and animals on visible leashes seem to be the select animals that Buc-ee is okay with.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well, that's because they have all that. Get it? Ha, ha, ha. They've got a vlogger who still vlogs with a duck named Wrinkle took a, oh, my God, it was in Sevierville, Tennessee. That's Dolly's hometown.
Dolly.
Because of his duck, it was his last trip ever to a Buc-ee's. And a video posted to his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is seductive. Get it?
Ooh,
duck.
Yeah.
Duck.
I like it.
Justin Wood took his 3-year-old service animal for a stroll around the world's largest Buc-ee's, and Buc-ee's employees took notice as people approached, asking to pet the duck. Staff then asked for documentation of Wrinkle's service animal status. Who had that job?
Exactly.
Walk up to that person and ask them to see Wrinkle's papers. We need Wrinkle's papers. After escapades through the store aisles and looking at plush beaver toys and handing out $2 bills to fellow customers. Whoa. The adventure came to an end. Police officers greeted the duo outside of Buc-ee's. God, they called the cops and informed Wood that he was banned from all Buc-ee's. If he's caught again on the property, including the parking lot or the gas pumps, he would be charged with trespassing. Settle down.
Yeah, come on.
Simmer. I know they're cooking food in there. You probably shouldn't have a duck.
Right.
But, and he said, come on, Wrinkle. Wood said as he and his duck waddled away from the store. Along with content about Wrinkle and trying other different brands of water and how to pick up a duck, Woods' channel is dedicated to places he takes Wrinkle. So far, they've visited a clown motel, a Chuck E. Cheese, and a New York City subway.
Wait, a clown motel?
Mm-hmm. Okay. A New York City subway. On a visit to a Tesla store, Wood was asked to stop recording and is seen later outside of the store. I want to formally apologize for being offensive. Then again, I'm not the one selling people bots. Oh, he means Elon. About Tesla. Oh. Yeah.
Huh. That's a little deep for a duck owner.
Some of the employees were concerned with Wrinkle that he seemed about how he was contained. For part of the visit, Wrinkle was in a stroller. Then an employee told Wood the duck could possibly fly out and clarified that even service animals such as dog have to be on a leash in order to be in the store. Oh, he wasn't even on a leash.
Come on. You can't let a duck run around a bucket.
So Woods attached an invisible leash to Wrinkle and set the duck on the floor to walk around. Okay.
Come on. Stop it.
Something, yeah. Wrinkle flapped their wings and came up to Wood holding out a cup of water. When he asked Wrinkle, if he wanted a sippy, he was giving the duck water. Wrinkle did win the hearts of the police officers who informed Wood about the banishment from the store. One officer clarified, "It's not my decision and everything. It's just theirs." Huh. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure there's, if you have food, if you're serving food, it's like there's rules. I mean, I don't love the rules.
Chicken. I'm sure the duck's freaked out.
Well, and maybe the duck likes jerky.
Yeah.
Speaking of restaurants, food. Did anybody care about McDonald's bagels, breakfast items? Well, first of all, it's a shitty bagel.
Yeah.
If you're going to go bagels, get real ones. Now, it is okay when they put the sandwich. They're bringing them back. Well, they're already back. I saw a sign down at the lake saying it's a fan favorite. They're in at least 1,200 restaurants. They could return to all 14,000 U.S. outlets later this year. They were first introduced in late 19, but were cut off during the pandemic. Since then, the fans have gone crazy, calling for their return. They're so popular that a 13,000-member Facebook group has sprung up called "Where's My McDonald's Bagel?"
Wow. Facebook.
Here's where they've returned to. California, Pennsylvania, Nashville, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, Florida, Tennessee, Iowa, West Virginia, Carolina, North Carolina, Ohio. Oh, California, sorry. North Carolina, Ohio, Alabama, plus New York. The nation's biggest bagel capital.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know. If you got something in between it, like egg and sausage, and that's your outside instead of a biscuit. And if you're hungover, it's probably good. Mm-hmm. There's 4. They all have egg and cheese. Blah blah blah. I don't. It's back. If you're interested.
Thank God.
Not my thing.
No.
I'd rather have a biscuit. It's probably way more fattening. They're probably even.
You don't need the whole thing.
If you're hungover, you're gonna eat the whole thing.
Exactly true.
2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The inductees are.
Oh!
Drum roll. Wait. Here's who made it.
Okay.
Mary J. Blige. Yay.
Yep.
Dave Matthews Band.
Boom.
Well, I'll give it a yay for my brother.
Yeah,
Well,
yes.
I liked it a long time ago. I guess he deserves it.
Yes.
Foreigner, they deserve it. I don't like them.
No.
I want to know what love is. It's not my thing. There's a lot to me. There's a lot of better bands from the 70s. Peter Frampton, yes. Kool and the Gang, all right. Mm-hmm. Ozzy Osbourne, yes. And A Tribe Called Quest. I don't know enough about them. Here's who's been given the Musical Excellence Award. Jimmy Buffett, he should.
Yep.
Dionne Warwick, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And Norman Whitfield. Who's that?
No idea.
Google Norman. Norman Whitfield, the name sounds like an old white man.
He is.
An old white man?
Nope, he's very black.
He's very black. Okay.
He's from Harlem.
He's from Harlem. Wow.
Yeah.
Whitfield, it just sounds so... what kind of... Does he do funk, or what's he do?
Psychedelic soul.
Psychedelic soul!
I ain't too proud to beg.
I ain't too proud to... Oh, I'm going to go listen to Norman Whitfield. Congratulations, Norman, on the Musical Excellence Award.
Funk, disco, psychedelic soul.
Here's who didn't make it this round. Sinead O'Connor, Lenny Kravitz, and Mariah Carey.
Oh, Mariah Carey. Come on. That Christmas song's the only thing.
The Christmas song lives on forever. Mariah's Christmas song. They're going to be on TV. Oh, no. Yeah, they're going to live stream on Disney+. It'll be October 19th at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
There you go. Great. There's the winners. Congratulations.
That's funny.
Cher said told them to go fuck themselves. I wonder if she's going to go. You know, if you get that mad, right. and then they put you in, what are you going to do? Yeah. Say sorry, Charlie? No. Right.
Send a proxy. Send
right.
a drag queen. She should send a Cher drag queen.
She should send a drag queen. That would be great.
Yeah.
She should have a contest at the Abbey in West Hollywood and say, somebody's going as my representative. And then, oh my God, the line would be longer than any reality show that ever. And there's so many good ones. It would be brutal to choose. I would love to be a judge.
That would be so fun.
Me and Bobby. Me and my friend Bob should be judges.
Yes.
And Bronson. We'll have Bronson come too. That's an excellent idea.
That's a great idea.
Here's an idea for people. inside the Irish town that banished smartphones for children under 12. Greystones became a global sensation after school pupils stopped obsessing over influencers and discovered a new way of life, which would be my childhood, your childhood.
Cool.
All the kids want them. So this town, they decided if we all do it, but you kind of got to be on board. Everybody's kind of got to. The majority have to be on board.
Just for kids or adults too?
Kids under 12.
Okay.
Which I don't think my sister or brothers let their kids have phones until they were 13.
Now you kind of need them.
You don't need them.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes.
I remember so my sister goes, well, what if the kids got lost? And my dad goes, really? And I don't know. He's like, I'm 75. Your mom's 75. We have 7 kids. We know all kinds of people that have kids. No kids have gotten lost. I'm like, he's right. Get lost.
Right.
I mean, yes, people go missing. I get it. Yes, the world's more dangerous. But anyway, in one town in Ireland, almost the whole town, 95% of the 22,000 strong community in Greystones and neighboring Delgany near Dublin had agreed to withhold phones from their children until at least the age of 12, meaning that the vast majority of the area's 3,500 primary school pupils are phone free. No phones in the classroom, no pesky phones at home either. Oh, no phones at home too. Wow. In a world where parents are battling to pry devices from the fingers of children as young as 5, this feels revolutionary. Hence, a succession of camera crews from around the world are descending on the picturesque Irish town. They've had calls from Australia, camera crews from the United States, France, Scandinavia. On one level, it's amazing. We're just a little school. But on the other, it thrills me that this is a global issue. It doesn't matter where you live. It's the same concerns. And it's worked out great. All the kids are happy. The peer pressure's off.
Nice.
Something to think about.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but the problem is, I don't know, like, in America, if you could get that many people to agree to one thing. No. Everybody's always fighting. Right. I don't know that we could do that. And if you have more than half or more, I don't know.
Ireland is cool that way, though.
Well, they're more, I don't know. They get it. All right. Moving on.
This is not a political podcast.
No, it's not a political. It's a social commentary on that, though. Should they have cell phones before 12?
No.
I don't know.
No.
So I wanted to read this. Well, actually, I'm going to save this one for next week. I keep saying I'm going to save it because it's long, but it's worth it. Okay. So I'm going to save it.
We're getting back on the wagon.
It's back on the wagon. It's the celebrity writer thing. And,
we got to do that.
Well, I'll read one.
Okay.
Beyonce's. So as a performer person, you get to it's just a checklist of shit you want, and they have to do it.
In your green room.
The venue. Well, they don't have to, but they usually do, and they try. They're usually very nice.
If you're good at performing.
Well, I don't put anything. Even my agent Heidi was like, "You don't even have like a deli tray in your writer." I said, "No, Heidi, because when you travel the country, it turns out there's a lot of definitions of deli trays, and a lot are horrible." I go, "Now you go to Sheboygan, Wisconsin. It's 87 pounds of cheese, 1 piece of salami. I love it. Right? Thumbs up." Way to go, Wisconsin. It just sits back there and it's wet. The wet here, you want a wet piece of bologna? Who the fuck? No, I'll find somewhere to eat. It just ended up to be feeding the opening act. It was just feeding giant men that want to eat 4 sandwiches and yeah.
You gonna eat that? No.
Beyonce. She requests a hotel room at 77 degrees Fahrenheit all the time. Huh. And with a buffet without Coca-Cola. The cost of her rider is 10 grand. Jesus. Mine's less than 150. It's probably $100. No, it's not even. They'll charge me that because that's a base fee. That's fine. If some kid will go get it, I need 6 beers, depending on who the opener is, sometimes 12. If my beer monster, Michael Silverfield's coming, and we need something other than Mick Ultra. He likes a little something with a little more spice. 2 Diet Cokes, 6 waters. That's it.
Heidi was horrified.
She asked for chicken thighs that have been heavenly seasoned with cayenne pepper, as well as rose-scented candles. Lastly, she refuses to have Coca-Cola cans. She can only be seen with Pepsi products due to a contractual arrangement. That's not too outrageous for being Beyonce.
Right.
She could, we'll get into this some more because some of them are really off the charts. But, hold on. This one is kind of crazy. And then I have a feel-good story. And then I'll do my thank yous. And then our quotes.
What are you eating?
Oh, I forgot. What am I eating?
Yeah.
I'll save it for next week.
No.
Yeah, because I haven't even tasted it. I'll save it for next week. They're wonderful. I'll save it. So did a man take a picture of the iceberg that sank the Titanic? I think he did. Okay. It's a newly unearthed photo that provides a fascinating clue to 1912 tragedy that killed 1,522 people. It's up for sale at an auction. It was taken 2 days after the luxury liner struck an iceberg on her maiden voyage, and it was taken from the rescue ship. Newly unearthed, the black and white image was captured by an undertaker working on the body recovery ship that arrived at the wreck in the site of the aftermath of the sinking. It's now up for sale. Estimated price, $4,000 to $7,000. It shows a large glacier, oddly shaped like an elephant, above the surface of the North Atlantic. It was taken 2 days after the luxury liner struck an iceberg, could have been another one, but it seems like it was this one, on her maiden voyage and sank and killed all those people. I mean, it looks like the one, but I don't know. Do they all look alike? I don't know. The photographer, believed to be funeral director John Snow Jr., later put it in a cardboard mount and simply captioned it Titanic. Mr. Snow's dad ran an undertaker's, in Nova Scotia.
Ooh.
Oh. When news of the tragedy broke, he and his staff of embalmers were summoned to Halifax. They boarded a cable-laying ship with the Mackay Bennett, the ship was called the Mackay Bennett, which was loaded with 100 coffins and 100 tons of ice to preserve the bodies. Oh, they set off for the wrecked site 800 miles away.
Wow.
I'd have given the gig to someone else. I know it's probably a lot of money, but I don't want to go 800 miles. And we know the sea's crazy. There's icebergs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be a second Titanic. They began their grim task the next morning. In all, they recovered 306 bodies from the sea. Those identified as first-class passengers were embalmed on the ship and placed in coffins. If you're first class, you get a coffin.
Stop it.
Those included the bodies of John Jacob Astor, the richest man aboard, and Isadora Strauss, the owner of Macy's department store. Wow. Second-class passengers were embalmed and wrapped in canvas. Some 116 third-class passengers were just thrown back into the sea.
Okay. Wow.
You're going to fuck the poor people even at the end.
Yep.
Wow. Unbelievable. The ship returned to Halifax 7 days later with 190 victims. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
The photo's been passed down through the family. It was acquired by a collector of Titanic memorabilia about 30 years ago. Auctioneer said nobody can say for sure it was the iceberg. Well, I think it was.
Yeah.
But what we can say is that after the rescue ship Carpathia, the Mackay Bennett was one of the first ships to the wreck site, and that the undertaker on board decided to take a picture of this iceberg. He must have had his reasons for taking it. He captured the Titanic and mounted it for posterity. It hasn't been sold before. It was acquired directly from Mr. Snow's family in the early 90s. Mm-hmm. It's extremely rare photograph and will attract a lot of interest. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's it. Here's my feel-good story. This makes me laugh so hard. You guys have I try to read stories that aren't on the news a lot. This one did kind of make the rounds, but I like it anyway. A Utah couple, oh my God. Whoever wrote this article has been waiting to use this their whole life. A Utah couple were perplexed, P-U-R-R, one day when their shy cat, Galena, suddenly disappeared. Then she was found in an Amazon warehouse all the way in California. She mysteriously went missing. She was an indoor cat, and she's an awesome-looking thing. She looks like 20 cats in one. We'll put the picture up. But her owners couldn't figure out how the indoor cat could disappear without a trace. A week later, the couple got a notification that her microchip had been scanned, and they were soon on a call with the veterinarian in Los Angeles. She survived 6 days without food or water after she was accidentally shipped out with an Amazon return. 6 days.
That's insane.
That breaks the 3-3-3 rule. 3 minutes without oxygen, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Psh, it's an amazing cat. They drove to California. The indoor cat has a penchant for playing in boxes, and she is particularly good at hiding. She said she was able to speak with the worker who found her, and she said she took the Amazon worker took the cat home and took care of her that night.
Oh, that's
before
nice.
she took it to the vet the next day. They booked a flight to California to reunite with their cat. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Somebody opened that box at an Amazon warehouse.
Can you imagine?
You wouldn't want to open it if Kato was in there.
No, she'd rip your face off.
Rip your face
Yeah.
off. And she hasn't had food or drink in 6 days. She'd be super mad. Baby cat would be fine. Chapo, it's a toss-up. But Kato, they're lucky they got a nice one to be in the box, because that is not a pleasant surprise if you open it and you got a mean cat. Kato would just be so pissed. All right. These are the thank yous. If you don't care about this, you can fast forward. But I need to thank everybody who did something, because they put a lot of effort into it. And it's always fun to get all the stuff. And if I can't take the beer home, we drink it that night.
Yep. Go party.
Royal Oak, Teresa, Cindy, Lizzie, and Kathleen. Yeah, Kathleen. They're Ann Arbor termites. So really, they're ermites. Karina and Jason, Susan and Jeff, Tracy and Christy. Oh, Indiana termites.
Nice.
They called in sick to work. Thanks. Denise, Bridget came all the way from Pittsburgh. Jan, Lori, John, Tammy, and Rob, Lake Orion, Michigan. I don't know where that is. Leslie and Nancy, Steph and Allison, Suttons Bay, Michigan. These are the people that drove all the way down. Wherever these people are from. Roxanne, Mary and Steve, Jane, Brian and Dana. Sarah and Tom, Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Donna and Teresa, Tracy and Dave, Margaret, Ann Arbor. I love Ann Arbor. There used to be a club there I used to work. I loved it.
It's really fun.
But once you do Detroit, you can't do them both. You got to pick one. And John and Marianne from Lansing, I've worked there too. And then Anaheim, big shout out to Ashley, Kathy, Corey, Stephen, Cindy, Alex, and Joey, Amy, Oliver, and Gracie. Thousand Oaks, there was a lot of stuff back there too.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank God Heidi had something to eat.
Yeah, thank God. There's food. Oh, look, here's food from fans. And then they're like, hey, do you care if I get into those? No, go ahead, but let me know what you're eating before.
I want some.
Yeah, I might want it. No, it was good because there were a lot of people backstage. So it was like just an instant, here you go. I'm sorry my writer doesn't have that. I need chicken wings with cayenne pepper and Jesus Christ. Go try that shit in some of the towns I've worked in. Here's what I would like.
Here's what temperature my beer needs.
Yeah, my room, my hotel room. Yeah, I'm not letting you get my hotel. I'll be in charge of where I stay. Don't you worry about all that. God damn. Thousand Oaks, Donna and Pat, Evie, Ellen and Mike, Sonia and Shane, Allison and Pam, Betsy, Rose and Eric, Anne Marie, Allison, Tom, Alexandra, Michelle, Christy, Leo and Gabe, and Jake. All right, so wish me luck on meeting Tanya this week.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't usually like to do that. I'm not very comfortable. But it's a bar opening, so it seems a little less
What
weird.
are you doing this weekend?
This weekend,
Who are you going to see?
I'm going to go see Morgan Wallen.
Yay!
And I know his behavior is questionable. Don't judge me for not judging that. I just love his music. And then I always think, when people that you really like as an artist do bad things, I used to say, like when Bill Cosby got accused of everything, all of his fans kept showing up, but they might have bought those tickets a year in advance. You don't know.
Right.
And then let's say I bought tickets to see Stevie, who's coming to Nashville, which I might go do that. And then somebody said Stevie Nicks ate a baby. I'd be like, well, when? Because I bought the tickets before she ate the baby.
Right.
And do you know she ate the baby? Really? Like, it's just, that's part sucks. But anyway, let's do a Tay-Tay quote. And then we'll finish on a Dolly quote. Dolly, this is Taylor, sorry. When you're singing, you can hear the echo of the people in the audience singing every single word with you. And that was a big dream I had for myself. It's happening.
Nice.
Yep, that's something I never want to hear in comedy.
No.
Nope.
Shut up.
Well, that's the thing with the youngsters on TikTok now, the young comics. They want to do crowd work because they don't want to put their real jokes on TikTok, which is stupid, in my opinion. You should put your real jokes on TikTok. That's why people are coming to see you, if they do come to see you. But they're encouraging crowd work.
Right.
Like, we have encouraged the audiences to not do that the rowdy ones. Like, yeah. All right, Dolly Parton. Let's move on to Dolly. She's always got something fun to say. Dolly Parton discussing her long career in an interview with, we'll do this one. A famous Dollyism posted by Dolly on her Twitter page in 2013. My weakness has always been food and men, in that order. She loves a good biscuit. She's also going to be doing stuff from her cookbook down at that Fan Fest thing, a fan fair.
We are going day drinking, and we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to.
All right, termites. We'll be back next week. Thanks again for everything, and we will see you. I won't be on the road this week. I get a whole week home. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then I'll be going off to Ireland.
Nice.
Yep.
That'd
For
be
a
fun.
little golf vacation. All right. That's it.